Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my video all about the cameras I use for Instagram and YouTube. So I wanted to share with you guys all the cameras I use for my Instagram and my YouTube channel. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I will link it below. Make sure you head over and follow me on there because I update that daily. So I feel like in 2018, pictures and imagery are everywhere and everyone wants to know how you take a good picture. I have been interested in photography ever since I can remember. Back in when I started secondary school, I remember I can't remember who bought it, whether it was me, I saved up, or my mum, but I really wanted a digital camera, so I got one and I was always out taking pictures with it. I was also always making videos back then, so this job is kind of perfect for me now when I look back and realise all the things I was interested in, all the things I loved. So I'm just going to run through with you guys everything I know about photography. I am no expert. I just managed to use the skills that I've learnt to run my Instagram and obviously my YouTube channel. I've picked up quite a few tips along the way that I want to share with you guys, tell you which cameras are good and what will match a different kind of need, because obviously if you're just starting out you won't need a DSLR, all that kind of thing. So let's just get straight into it. So I want to start off with my iPhone X. My iPhone X is a brilliant camera and I absolutely love it, and I feel like it's not about the camera that you have. As long as you have, you know, a good quality camera, it's all about the photographer. So you could take a picture on here or I could take a picture on my DSLR and they would both be good quality. As long as you know how to take the picture and edit it, then it will look brilliant. So I love my iPhone X for photography, so I would highly recommend upgrading to an iPhone X. If you want to start out with photography and you want to see if it is something you want to pursue more and spend more money on, I know the iPhone X is actually really expensive. It's more expensive than my actual camera that I use, but it's obviously a phone as well, so that's probably why. But it's got a brilliant camera on. I love portrait mode, so I'll insert a picture that I've taken using portrait mode and it's brilliant. So it gives a blurry kind of bokeh-ish background, which so many people want these days. So portrait is a really good mode to shoot in. The only thing with iPhone cameras is you need to make sure the lighting is perfect for you to shoot. Otherwise it will just look rubbish. So with iPhones it's key to have good lighting. So good lighting is good natural daylight. You cannot beat daylight. If you can't get good natural daylight, then I would recommend a ring light, but I would definitely say that shooting with daylight is the best way to shoot using an iPhone. It's the best way to shoot, full stop. But if you don't have daylight, then I would definitely recommend artificial lighting. I use a ring light. That's all that I use really. I don't really use any other artificial lighting. The filming on an iPhone X is okay. I wouldn't really recommend it. I wouldn't film my YouTube videos on an iPhone. I feel like you do need a proper camera for that kind of stuff. Jordan did film a vlog once on my iPhone, which I'll link below so you can see the quality. It's not bad, but for me, I 100% prefer my camera quality to iPhone quality. I actually also have a home interior account on Instagram, which I'll show you guys here. And I actually take 90% of those pictures on my iPhone X. I feel like if it's good lighting, it's so easy to just quickly snap a picture on your iPhone and edit it and upload it, and the quality is brilliant. There is a saying that what is the saying now? I made myself look stupid because I've forgotten it. The saying goes something like, the best picture is the one you take. That's it. So the best picture is the one that you take, which is so true. As long as you have a decent-ish kind of camera on you, so iPhone X camera, then as long as you take the picture, it's gonna be good. It's better than not taking the picture, obviously. So that is my 10 pence on the iPhone X. I do think it's really good for Instagram. It takes great pictures, but it's all about the lighting. You need to make sure you have great lighting on the iPhone X, because if not, the picture quality will be horrendous. The flash is quite good. I do like pictures with the flash, so you can always use the flash. Video quality, I wouldn't really recommend an iPhone X for uploading videos to YouTube. I mean, you can, it's just not great, if you know what I mean. It's just up to you, it's just personal preference. I would definitely say if you want to upload videos to YouTube, then to invest in a proper camera. So moving on now to my Canon Powershot G7x, which is the camera I'm filming on right now. So you can see the quality. I think it's amazing quality for the price. When I bought it, I think it was around the £500 mark. I started off with a Canon Powershot G7x Mark I. That was 3 years ago. So that's what I started off with, and I had that for a good 2 years. So I learnt the ropes on that, and it took me 2 years to get anywhere decent at it. And I then upgraded to the Mark II around a year ago, and I got all of my cameras from John Lewis, including my iPhone X. I got that from John Lewis as well, because it gives a 2-year guarantee at John Lewis. So that's why I always get all my camera and filming equipment from John Lewis. They also do price match as well, so it will always be the cheapest place that you can buy the item. Where do I start with my Canon Powershot G7x? Basically everyone that I know that does YouTube uses a Canon Powershot G7x. It must be the best selling camera ever, because it's just so accessible these days. And the way that I use it, so the way that I'm filming now, I've had a few questions on how I film on the Canon Powershot. I just use auto, and it's as simple as that really. I just put it on auto and click record. That's how I use it in filming mode. I also do take pictures with auto as well. Auto is really, really good. The Canon Powershot is amazing for selfies, and I will use it in the auto mode as well. It's brilliant for that. Sometimes I will use the SCN mode, and if you flip to that, that gives you a whole load of different modes. So you've got a firework mode. Now you're testing me. Firework mode. Snow mode, I think. Night mode. You also have self-portrait mode, which is a great mode. The only thing that I sometimes don't love with that mode is it can look quite fake. So I do actually prefer to take selfies in auto. Just my personal preference. I feel like it can look quite fake when you use the selfie mode. Although it is brilliant and it does make you look great and I do love it, it can look a little bit fake. So here is a selfie that I took with a Canon Powershot G7x auto mode. So as you can see, the quality is brilliant. You cannot beat the quality for selfies on this. If you're taking a picture of a person, you can't beat the Canon Powershot G7x. I love it. Well, actually you can beat it, but not in the price range. I absolutely love it. It's a perfect camera for me. It's the camera that I use the most. So I film all of my videos on the Canon Powershot G7x. I take most of my pictures on the Canon Powershot G7x. So yeah, love it, and it's a camera I would totally recommend if you are starting to get into photography. So it's a point and shoot. You can't change the lens, and it won't give you the kind of bokerish background. It will give you it a bit in certain modes, but not really. So it's not really the camera if you do want that kind of bokerish look. You can get lucky sometimes and get the right kind of conditions and get the bokerish look, but I wouldn't recommend it for that. It is a brilliant camera. It's great for photography. It's great for Instagram. I think a lot of people on Instagram use this camera as well, along with their iPhones. A lot of people on Instagram just use their iPhones. You cannot beat the Canon Powershot G7x for YouTube, 100%. It is my favourite camera to film on. I also just use the microphone on it as well. I don't use any external mic, although I am thinking now I probably should get an external mic. I do have an external mic that I use for voiceovers, but I want one that just clips onto the camera. I feel like I do need to upgrade to that, so maybe I'll do that soon. But yeah, I love my Canon Powershot G7x. It's brilliant, and I cannot recommend it enough. Most of the pictures you will see over on my Instagram will be on the Canon Powershot G7x. Okay, so moving on now to SLRs and DSLRs. Do not ask me what SLR and DSLR mean, because I don't know. I believe SLR is the upgrade from the point and shoot, but not quite the DSLR, because you can change the lens on an SLR. So the first time I upgraded to a better camera than my Canon Powershot G7x, but I've never sold my Canon Powershot G7x. It's like my bread and butter for Instagram and YouTube. I just wanted to upgrade to try something different, different photos, different kind of filming style. I went for the Sony A6000 because when we went to Disneyland, the guy filming there was using the Sony A6000. The Sony A6000 is a brilliant camera. I believe they also have an upgraded version now as well. It's brilliant. Just straight off, it's brilliant. It's a different look to Canon. You can always tell when I'm taking a picture myself. I would know exactly what camera the photo was taken on. I always preferred the pictures on my Canon G7x to the Sony. I don't know why. I just did. Jordan always preferred the Sony. But we had that camera for around 7 months. We've had it for about 7 months. And you can't fault the Sony A6000 when filming. It's a beautiful camera, and I got some amazing B-roll footage on the Sony A6000. honestly, but that was because we brought a new lens for it. Now, I am so bad with lenses, so this is where my camera knowledge kind of ends and gets a bit foggy. Jordan is in charge of the whole lens thing. So I know it's all about aperture and the lower aperture, the lower f-stop, which means aperture, the kind of focus you can get, like when an object is focused and it's blurry in the background. That's what I love for B-roll. The Sony did that perfectly. We had the most amazing lens for it. I will link it below. I'll ask Jordan what lens we had for the Sony and I'll link it below, because it gave the most perfect B-roll footage. If you're not sure what B-roll footage is, it's kind of like footage you put to music, footage you put to kind of set the scene, that kind of footage. So we had the Sony for around 7 months, and because I wasn't totally in love with the pictures it was taking, I discussed with Jordan whether we should upgrade and maybe just go for the DSLR, because we take pictures all the time. It just made sense to go for the DSLR. So we sold the Sony. I think Jordan was really sad to see the Sony go, and I was as well, because it did give the most perfect B-roll footage. You couldn't really beat it, and I haven't matched it yet on my DSLR, but I will explain why in a minute. So for the DSLR, we got the Canon 80D. I was really pleased to be going back to Canon. I just love the way that Canon pictures look. And before I got the Sony, a few people said to me that you will tell the difference, and I did. So I am a Canon girl through and through. I love Canon photos. So to me, the Canon 80D, it comes with a lens. Now I will link exactly what we got below. Here is a picture that I've taken with my Canon 80D here. So you can kind of see the quality. It's amazing quality, honestly. It's kind of like the Canon Powershot G7x, but upper level. That's the way that me and Jordan see it. So we love the photos on it, and if I have a kind of brand photo to take, if we're out for the day, we will always take the Canon 80D. We've only had it a week, so we are still getting used to it, how it works, all that kind of stuff. So we're not pros at the moment, but we learn as we go along, and I think that's the best way to do it. You're never going to be a pro if you don't try. So the way that me and Jordan like to learn is we just like to learn on the job. We like to just give it a go, basically, and so far we're getting on really well. The only thing is we do want a different lens, so we want a lens that gives a more bokeh-ish effect. So the lens we have at the moment is just a really good, like, general all-round lens, which is what you need to take pictures, but we do want a lens that gives a really, really bokeh-ish, blurry background. So Jordan's been researching that, and I believe he found one actually. He did text me today and say, oh, I found a lens that we should get. So we'll see about that, but yeah, we are looking at the lens. Especially if you want the blurry background, you need to have a high quality, low aperture lens. So that is why I still prefer the Sony B-roll footage to the Canon B-roll footage, because we haven't upgraded the Canon lens yet. We will do it, we will get there, and when we get there, you'll probably notice an improvement on my B-roll footage. So in conclusion, I would 100% say that's all about the photographer. You could give someone that has no idea a Canon 80D, and you could give a professional photographer an iPhone X, and the picture will be better on the iPhone X. It's all about practice, it's all about learning. There are so many YouTube videos that you can watch regarding photography, which I highly recommend. I especially love the Mango Street tutorials. I will link their channel below. If you don't already know it, then you should definitely go and check them out. They do brilliant photography tutorials. I would say that the Canon Powershot G7x is the perfect beginner's camera. And even though I'm not a beginner, I still use it every day. As I said, it's my bread and butter. So that is the camera I really would recommend if you want to kind of up your photo level. I wouldn't recommend getting a DSLR for the Powershot. I feel like the Powershot is a perfect camera to kind of learn the ropes on, learn the kind of different picture techniques, learn the different shooting styles, kind of like an introduction to photography. And then when you want to upgrade to a DSLR, you will probably still want to keep the Canon because it's that good. I would never say goodbye to my Canon Powershot G7x. And I would actually love to know if Canon are planning on upgrading it, bringing out a new different kind. If you have any inside info, I would really be interested on what they're planning on doing. So that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments section and I will do my best to answer. I'll see you guys soon.